back. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I used a straightening brush to make Jayla's hair look like this. If that's something that you want to see, then just keep watching. So I was sent this ceramic hair straightening brush from a site called mymakeupbrushset.com. This is the packaging that it comes in, and inside the box is just the brush and a care booklet. And it has the name of the company right on top of the brush as well. It has a digital LCD temperature display screen and buttons on the side that helps you control the temperature settings. And also the temperature settings are in Celsius, so I did have to Google to try to figure out what the temperature would be in Fahrenheit. So I ended up using the brush on 185 degrees Celsius, which is equal to about 365 degrees Fahrenheit. So here's how the brush looks up close. The ceramic heating plates are behind those red dots, and those red dots are made of rubber, so if it does happen to touch the scalp or anything like that, it will not burn because those do not get hot. I figured the best way to use this brush would to be on stretched hair, so what I did was braid her hair up the night before and let it air dry overnight. And I have a very detailed video on how I prepare her hair for braids and stretching, so I will link that video for you right about here. So I used a leave-in conditioner and a butter on her hair the night before, but I didn't use any other products while I was straightening her hair with the brush. So I'm just taking down the braid, and I'm going to take one piece of the braid at a time and just work with that. It's also time for a trim, so I'll be trimming her hair as well, but I'm not going to be taking off much. I'm taking less than ½ an inch off each piece. Once her hair was trimmed, I took the brush and went over that same piece of hair. I had to go over it about 2 or 3 times because one pass definitely wasn't enough to straighten it out. And they also recommend if you have thick, coarse hair like Jayla to straighten it on 440 to 450, but I wasn't going for a bone straight look, so I kept it on 365. And I'm just doing the same thing to that second piece of hair from the braid. I take the comb and comb it out really good before I go in with the straightening brush. I'm trying to get rid of any tangles before I use that brush. Then I trim her hair. And I've been trimming her hair since she was little, so I do know exactly where it needs to be cut because I can feel it with my hands. But once it's cut, I go in with the straightening brush and make a couple of passes with it. And I'm still doing the same thing for that last piece of hair in that braid. And once that third strand is finished, I bring all the hair together, use the brush one more time before moving on to the next section. This is how the first section looked after it was straightened. As you can see, it's not bone straight, but that's not the look I was going for. I'm sure if I were to use the recommended settings, I can get her hair straighter than this, but that's just not what I was wanting to do. And I just repeat all those steps for those other braids that are left. And this is how her hair looked once it was all straightened. Her hair was very moisturized compared to how it normally feels after using a blow dryer. And that's why I don't normally use a blow dryer, because it always leaves it so dry and brittle. But this would be a great alternative for us because it did still leave her hair feeling very moisturized. Also, I was out of my element. I have no idea what to do with straight hair, so Jayla told me what style she wanted and we did it. So that would be our next video on how we styled her hair. Thank you to mymakeupbrushset.com for sending us this straightener to try out. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and we'll see you guys in our next video.